It's showtime, it's your time. It's game time, it's go time. You got one shot at a gold mine.
Welcome to Black Voices in Color, where we discuss profound topics that focus on Black identity, culture, and Black excellence. We are a student podcast produced by Denver Public Schools that elevates the voices of Black students in our district. I'm Annai.
I'm Paris.
I'm Savannah.
And I'm Josh.
So a few days ago, we hosted our last event for this semester. But the Student Voice and Leadership 5280 Summit at the Colorado History Museum was so amazing. Shout out to students from West High School, DSSA Green Valley Ranch, Northfield High School, John F. Kennedy, DCIS Baker, Cape Denver Collegiate, North High School, Maury Middle School, and YAALL.
Yeah.
All of you guys did an amazing job at the summit. What did you guys think?
Well, I really loved it. I feel like I always love being able to see what other schools are doing and what their strategies are. All of them are really unique, and you get exposed to a lot of hardworking students who are truly determined.
Yeah.
I thought it was really fun. Even the hoodies we got on today were designed by one of the students from DCIS Baker. Shout out Edna Juarez Brambila. She had to compete in the competition versus other students for a momentary prize. I thought that was fun. I thought that was tough.
Yeah, me too. And JFK won the overall competition with their proposal to address declining enrollment at their school. Shout out to the team at JFK.
Ooh.
Yeah, each school competed by researching an issue and presenting a proposal to address a policy of issues they identified at their schools. And they wanted to raise awareness about the serious issues happening in certain areas that were negatively impacting their community. I know the topics range from like declining enrollment to school violence and lockdowns, and they even did videos and short skits to really demonstrate what that's like and the seriousness of all of it. And one thing that really amazed me about this was just how dedicated all the students were, like to stand up and call action to these problems, drawing attention they needed to potentially help them deal with the unfortunate circumstances happening in their areas, you know?
Yeah, I really appreciate DPS for creating a space for student leaders to come together and genuinely discuss and address issues that they care about. They literally gave them full creative license to select a problem and present a solution. It was nice seeing students who look like me define some of the stereotypes we encounter on a regular school basis. It's nice to see students owning their identities and being allowed to address concerns from their perspective. Holding a space for our identities allows us to feel like we belong and show up as diverse, authentic versions of ourselves.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely think it's inspiring to see students our age being so productive with their presentation. And it just lets me know that there's no excuses. Like, we can always step up and address the issues, you know, and better our communities and schools. And it also felt really good to see students being leaders, describing their plans and by step on how to solve those issues. And they've gone on for too long, so you could tell they were tired and they all equally wanted to see a change. And that brings us into our next topic about keeping a steady routine, wanting to promote positivity and applying that to our everyday tasks.
Today we're diving into what it really means to have the right mindset, not just for achieving your goals, but for someone who takes action and is willing to step up, like the students who participated in the 5280 challenge and other students, leaders throughout the district. Whether it's in class, sports, clubs, or just life, mindset makes a huge difference, and staying focused and motivated isn't something that happens by accident. It really takes having the right mindset. So what does having the right mindset mean to you? How do you practice it in your life?
Well, to me, having the right mindset is to filter out anything I feel like could cause harm to the way I function every day, or like even get in the way of how I interact with others. Like when I was younger, I felt like I was really bad with that. Like to me, gossip was like entertainment, and it was just fun being updated about the nonsense going on between people that I knew, and I also didn't really know them because I didn't talk to them much. But as I gotten older, I learned that having that mentality just really gets you nowhere, and it only gets you seen as bitter and with a bad vibe. And I understand that we're all human. There are times I feel like a lot of people find themselves a little too invested in something that's pointless, but anyone mature enough could figure out that it's not worth it. What about you, Savannah?
I would definitely say like positive energy is really like a big thing. I would definitely say you really have to channel like what you're doing and who you're around. And like I notice that a lot of the time, like when you do get like in your head about all the things that you're channeling, like with sports and extracurriculars and all that, you really just have to know like what is really a priority. Like, is your mental health a priority? Is just like your self-care priority? It's just kind of understanding and filtering out what's important and what isn't important. It might just not be at that moment. It might be, it really is important, but just give yourself a second. And I think really just keeping that positive mindset and even like surrounding yourself around people who genuinely give off positive energy. Like, do you guys feel like you surround yourself with people with positive mindsets? Do you think it's hard to find people like that?
I definitely think it is like hard to find people with positive mindsets because people just love to think negatively. I don't know. Like some people just worry or like they're scared all the time. And that, creates negativity. But I definitely do think it is pretty hard to find people with positive mindsets. But for me, I definitely do keep a positive mindset. Like I always like to keep things positive. I always like to keep the best outcomes in mind just so I can, live my life, not worry, not be scared,
Yeah, definitely.
What are some good examples of ways you guys practice having a positive mindset?
Well, I'm gonna just be honest. Like most of the time, I feel like it's hard for me to find people with similar mindsets as me, and I feel like everybody was just raised differently. Like some people might not have grown up to be shown the best examples. Like they might end up being more problematic just because of how their parents are. It could be the complete opposite where they were taught manners and taught that that's not the right way to be. It's not good to be around anyone or anything that could cause you trouble. And there are times where I feel like people just don't understand me as an individual, and that's okay because I can't always say that I'm very like familiar with others in the way they are. Like I said, we're all different, and I'm not perfect, but I do take time to reflect on anything I feel like may rub anybody the wrong way. Or as somebody who doesn't know me too well, I don't want them to just be thrown off.
I definitely agree. I feel like surrounding yourself with people who are really positive is definitely a big thing. Like I noticed like with people at our school, like I'm in student council, but it seems like I always just end up encountering people who don't want to put in the work, or they don't want to go all out on a poster. They just want to throw some marker on a paper. Like, no, I like to make fun things. I like to be creative. I like to discuss with people. I like to have mature conversations. And I do think that it's really hard, especially at our school, just to find people who really like value like advocating for our school, and really making a change. And I feel like all the events that I do like outside of school, like we've done the Black Issues Forum, we did the Student Voice and Leadership event, and even like the HBCU tours. I feel like when I put myself in positions to meet people who have that similar mindset, then I really do find people who I can really connect with on a deeper level, because it's really hard when, I don't want to say you're forced to kind of try and find relationships at your school, but you are, but really my people that I can really get along with, I've met some amazing people, but it wasn't people that I met at my school. You know what I mean? It was by being in all these different programs and doing stuff outside of school where I've met amazing people, like people who really care about like the spirituality of everything and just the really like mature understanding of life, and just understanding how negative energy can just like kind of control you. So I think it really is like, when you find people who have that similar positive mindset, it's really easy to stay positive. So that's how you think, like, even combating who you're around. You can't be around people who are negative all the time or always talking about other people. Like, it's so draining. And if you are constantly having that around you, you're
feeding into you.
Exactly. It's just feeding into your vibe and your energy. Like, how can you, like, live like that? So you really have to channel, like, just who you surround yourself with, I think.
Right. You were talking about, like, you're talking about a lot. Like, how do you regulate that? Like your activities, your sports, school.
Yeah, you do
that.
everything.
Everything.
Honestly, I'm big on calendars. Like, I know some people might not do that. I use my Google Calendar for everything. I use it for school stuff. I use it just to say, clean my bedroom at 7 p.m. Like, whatever. I just think that I'm like a big person who I need to be prepared on things. So I feel like when I write stuff on my calendar, I can like emotionally prepare for it. So if I have an event on Saturday and I don't feel like going, but at least I'm knowing about it. I know where I'm going. I know the people. I know what I need. If I'm preparing for it beforehand, it'll come easy to me and I won't have this unsettling feeling like, oh, I don't want to do it. But that's the thing. Like sometimes when something comes up, then you're like, oh, I already wanted to do something else. So now I don't want to do it anymore. But if I just write everything down on my calendar, like even when I had sports, volleyball practice, homework, shower, like I list my day out all the way. I know what's happening tomorrow. I know what's happening next week, everything. So I'm good on like, I just say I'm really good at like knowing what's coming up next. I'm good at channeling deadlines for school, deadlines for scholarships, like the podcast events, everything like that. So I think my main thing is just being organized. And I love using my calendar. I love to be organized and color code things.
I procrastinate all the time. So I think a big thing for me is having people in my circle that help me stay on task and kind of keep me accountable.
Yeah.
Like for me, my mom is a big instance. Like my mom, like whenever I have a big event, I know, hey, I need to get this done. Hey, I need to be this. I need to be wearing this. I always got to tell my mom. My mom's going to help me stay on top of it. So having people around me definitely keeps me in check always.
How do you think you're going to like do that in college though. Like I depend on my dad a lot too, so I do understand, but I'm really having to like just focus my mind on ways to do the things that my dad does without him physically being there. Like, how do you think you'll handle that in college?
Yeah, right now I'm kind of like in that process of just learning to branch out and want it for myself. So, like you said, I did get my own calendar. So,
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah. I try. I got all different color markers and everything.
That's great. I'm proud
Skinny
of
ones,
you.
big ones. But I've been trying
What
to
colors you got?
every color,
Like the whole rainbow?
whole rainbow.
You know, mine, I got pink and purple and blue and green. So, like, the purple I have for, like, all my inspirational quotes on my whiteboard. Like, and then for the pink,
colors are even organized.
I'm saying, like,
she's a robot.
the
bro.
pink is, like, the checklist. So, like, prom's coming up. So, you know, I have to have, like, oh, I need to get my nails done. I need to get my hair done. Like, all stuff like that. And then, like, the blue is just, like, deadlines and stuff like
but
that.
to answer your question, it's just like that's just how I do it. I'm trying to branch off into that individuality and try to embrace like I gotta do this myself. I gotta do it on my own. So taking that calendar and starting to journal is kind of big for me now.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, I get kind of scared thinking about it because I can't count how many times I forgot things within the last like few months. Like
Right.
it's so I used to think
too.
I wouldn't forget anything because honestly I wasn't as busy, but with everything going on and events after events after events, and some of them even collide with each other. Like they're on the same day, so I have to make time to be there at this time, then leave early to make it there. And I feel like it just gets stressful. You have to have that self-discipline because you're not always having people tell you like what you should do, like what go to that event, it's more important. You just have to know what your priorities are
for
and,
yourself.
Yeah, you have to manage your time really well, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, yeah, there's a lot going on at the end of the year this year.
Yes.
Like prom, prom,
I've only
everything.
gone to graduations. Now I'm graduating.
I know.
Oh.
It's so different.
It's
being
in
on
a
the other
month,
side.
y'all. It's the 29th. We graduate in exactly a month. That is too scary to think about.
Nah, thinking about prom though, it kind of reminds me of like self-care, you know?
Yeah.
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 And then we're talking about positivity. So like, how do you guys feel that you guys keep like a positive audience around you? Like, how do you like?
Okay. One way I do is I look at who's around me and what they got going on for themselves. So like one way I evaluate what's coming to me is what somebody else is doing for themselves. So like normally, I had a friend recently who he did have a few assignments that were just missing, and you know he was kind of we was talking about this earlier. He just kind of was in that escapism, kind of just like distracting himself from what needed to get done. And so for me, self-care is like, hey, this is a person I need in my life, and if I don't keep him on track, how can I expect him to hold me accountable? Right. So I have to do this. What I expect from somebody else, I have to return double. So that's what I'm saying. So one way I keep my self-care is making sure my circle's in check too, because they're gonna help me.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that's definitely strong. Like, I understand, like, having those people that you want to kind of, like, be taken care of as well. And you definitely need your own circle, but I sometimes feel like I have to be in my own circle.
Isolation's
you know
big
what I
too.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's nice, like, because I have, like, my friends that I really like being around, and we'll talk about school and college and stuff like that. And, like, I'm so proud of the ones who are doing so many different things. And that's nice to just, like, know that there's people who are going through similar things and have similar goals as you as well. But I also think that taking the time to really, like, own yourself as well, you know, like it's hard, it's really hard, especially as a senior, to get caught up in everything going on, you know, like scholarship deadlines, all that. So it's just also knowing that positivity, keeping things that matter to you and that make you feel better is what you should continue doing. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say, oh, stop doing school, stop doing this. No, things are hard, but they get better. And like, even with scholarships and stuff, like, I know all of us kind of have our own things that we're doing, but you really have to know, like, if a scholarship is weighing on you because you didn't prepare for it or you don't have enough time for it, are you really going to sit there and keep dwelling on it and try and put in minimum effort when you can just focus on what are you going to do next time? When the next scholarship opens, what are you going to do then? Are you going to take more time? Are you going to be more prepared? Are you going to have everything laid out for you already? So I just think it's really good when you have a lot of big things coming up as a senior to know what things are important and what things are, you know?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I feel like about being alone, it's really important to take time to evaluate yourself, because you're never going to be able to properly interact with others if you don't have yourself figured out.
Yeah.
Right.
And other people notice way more than you think. Like when you're still trying to figure yourself out and you're just trying to kind of be a follower, and
Yeah.
they
Right.
know when you don't have your own way of forming your own opinions and your own way of thinking. And even with the scholarship thing, I feel like I try not to stress so much about things I can't control.
Exactly, yeah.
Because there were scholarships that I really thought, like, I had money on those scholarships. Like, I thought I was gonna win, like, and I didn't end up winning them. But it's okay, because in the end, like, I ended up getting a way better opportunity that I didn't expect. And it's like, I try not to also look at what other people are doing. I feel like that slows others down too, and I encourage other people not as well, because I feel like God has a plan for everybody, and we all have a unique path ahead of us. We can't let other people slow us down.
Yeah, and definitely you got a full ride scholarship for schools in Colorado, right?
Yes, and you're going to Clark. Those are both equally great experiences.
Yeah, and it's amazing. Like, I definitely know what you mean with, like, God has his own plan for everybody. Like, that's the thing. Like, you really have to remind yourself, like, comparison is the thief of joy. Like, everybody has their own story, and we all have our own unique stories. And that's why I really, like, love this podcast, because we do really get to know each other on such a deeper level. Like, we all have different career paths, and we're all so unique. I think that's why we go good, because we bring so many different opinions to the table. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, like, I mean, everybody's doing something different. Whether you stay in state or not, it's literally your decision, your plan, and what you want to do. If something's pushing you to do this, then do it. But if it's not pushing you or making you feel excited about it, then why are you doing it? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, going to Colorado State or any school in Colorado on a full ride is amazing. People from different states want to come here on a full ride, but they don't have that opportunity. You know what I mean? So, like, your story might seem differently. Like, oh, like, you might think, like, oh, like, I wanted to go to an HBCU, but now I want to do this. But that's amazing, because you still have your own path that you were given, you know? Like, not everybody won that scholarship, and even students who wanted, you know, to go to that school in the beginning didn't win it. But the fact that you did can just help you write your story on your own. So, like, that's so valuable.
Like, y'all talking about God and how everyone has their own paths. That's why I'm really, like, that's why I'm kind of, like, lackadaisical sometimes, because I know that my path it's gonna happen eventually. Like, that's how I combat my negativity in my life. Like, I just realized, like, things that I've achieved, they've really been, like, just, they've come out of nowhere. Like, they've been really unexpected. Like, and it's just things that I've prayed about, just, like, you know, being on my own path. It's just happened like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how I've been able to combat negativity.
Yeah. And do you guys think that you're good at, like, combating, like, mistakes? Like, when you channel, like, failure or something like that, how do you reset your mind or reset, like, your values? Like, how do you guys go about that?
Well, honestly, something I've learned to be careful with is what I consider failure. I feel like there are a lot of times, like, life isn't gonna go the way you expected it, and you may not be prepared for, like, what happens to you. It doesn't necessarily mean it's failure, and that's just life. Like, one thing about me is I like to plan, and I would consider myself as being a planner since I was little. Like, I've always been like that, and this is just because I want to know what my next move is, and I want to know what I'm doing. That way, I'm not stuck when things do go wrong. And for far as criticism, like, people can talk all day long. Like, everybody has the ability to be mad. Like, let them be mad about whatever they think they know about you. But I see all of the hard work I'm putting in. I see my progress, and I know I'm practicing better habits every day. So I realize there's always going to be hate directed towards me, and there's always going to be hate directed towards you no matter what you do. Yeah. But that's why you really can't let it get to you. And if this was the case and I was always worried about what people thought of me, I know I'd be angry every day, and that's just not who I am.
Yeah.
You know?
There's always going to be people talking, haters, everything.
Right.
I honestly do think, though, like, with me personally, at least for, like, I love what you said about, like, it's what you perceive as failure. So I really do think, like, as failure, like, or, like, mistakes or anything like that is really just time for reflection. You know, if you made a mistake, if you didn't do something how you should have, then that's how you combat it, is you go and see what things did I do wrong. Like, I don't want to keep going to the scholarships things, but, like, if you didn't have enough time, if you didn't do your research on something, the next time you need to be prepared for that. And even, like, different situations that you're a part of, you know, like, if you said something wrong, like, we host events almost all the time, you know, so sometimes I'm talking too fast, or sometimes I'm not really seeing how the room is feeling, you know, and, like, especially with us, like, we're seen very highly, you know, and we're expected to do a lot. So, like, there's a lot of pressure that goes on with that. So, like, like how important, it's very important for us to make mistakes like as leaders. Like how important do you think that is for us? Like what do you guys do, like use from these mistakes to help you like be an MC or just like in your everyday life?
I was going to say, I think a big part of you just touching on it is embracing the mistake.
Yeah.
Every time you have a decision, you have a 50% choice to make one. So it's like mistakes are more common than we think, and maybe it might not feel like how we think, but there's little things that all play into it.
Yeah.
So owning your mistake is big because it's really common, and you're going to make them, and you're going to continue to make them. So really channeling in on who you are and accepting that, hey, this happened, and like you said, just having that mindset of, okay, this is what I need to do differently. And be very careful from self-evaluation and self-harm, because you can really beat yourself down on some of these things that you feel like, oh, I could have done this, but maybe, you know, it just like it wasn't fortunate at the time. So being really mindful of how you're channeling these kinds of mistakes and how you're processing it is important.
Yeah.
Right. For me, it's like I really value like solitude, because in my solitude, I can think clearly. I can think about what I did, how I can do it better. You know, like I always try to learn from a situation.
Do you guys have like nighttime routines and like morning routines and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I feel like my nighttime routine, it's been getting a little repetitive lately. I'm not gonna lie. Like every day I get home, I just make sure I don't have anything to do for school. I scroll on my phone or something. Like, I need to stay off the internet. Bro. But I definitely try to make sure all my important tasks are done before I rest or anything, because that just builds up a lot of stress. And I did do some research a while ago about how it's not healthy to be scrolling on a screen before you go to bed. Like it's something called the blue light effect or something.
Because it makes you feel like the sun's out or something.
Yeah.
So it like channels your brain to think that you're supposed to be awake.
Yeah. So I would just say like making it dark in my room, like just making that environment for me to really like be relaxed. And I feel like that's my night routine most of the time.
That's nice.
What's your routine, Josh? Like,
Normally when I come home from school, I usually rest in some form, whether I'm scrolling, whether if I gotta take a break. You know, you come to school, you got people with different types of energies, different types of everything. I just need that moment of stillness. And so for me, that kind of just looks like rest, whether I'm scrolling. But if I take a nap, I might wake up. Then the first thing on my mind when I get up is my priority. So maybe I have laundry, maybe I need to clean my room, maybe I got homework. If I have both, I'm definitely cleaning my room first. But, you know, there's also priorities in that. But I might do that, wash my face, and then I'm going to call it a night.
Right.
bro, for me, you
don't even sleep.
Bro, I be dead after school. Okay, look. After school, that's when I take my nap. That's when I rest, you feel me? And then for the rest of the night, probably till like 3, I'll be up. So like when I get up after my nap,
crazy.
like you said, like I focus on my priorities when I wake up. Like I focus on if I got to do homework, if I got to do the dishes, if my mom needs something from me, you know, like stuff like that. But after school, I be knocked out, bro.
No, do you guys? Oh, sorry, Savannah. Bro. Do you guys have those days where you just don't feel like doing anything?
Absolutely.
Like, you want to just push everything to the side, but you're like, if I don't do this, it's just gonna pile up, and I'm not gonna do it later. Like.
And honestly, like what I be doing after school is like, if I fall asleep after school, I'll wake up at 3 a.m. So like what I do, like, cause even like at the end of the day, like if I need like a reset, like that's what I really do. Like if I like cleaning my room, I like organizing things. So sometimes I'll like, cause there's a bunch of drawers, you know, and sometimes your drawers get like all messed up. So sometimes I'll go through and refold everything just to like set my mind on something different, and I'll listen to music. So I feel like after school, that's when I really like.
music.
But I'll just like channel my energy in like what I'm doing. So if I know I have a lot of deadlines coming up or something, but they're overwhelming me, I'll take a second and be like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask, like, how important do you guys feel like routines are to people's mental health?
Extremely important. I think it's so important.
Yeah. It's important to have like a laid out plan. Like I say stuff like this a lot, but it's important to know what you're doing next. That way you're not like Savannah mentioned about the OCD thing. It's like, it's not a good feeling to be unorganized or not to know how your day is going to look. Like, especially if you know you have a lot of things going on and things you have to like really focus on. It's good to know what I'm going to wake up, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that. It's like you have a steady plan and you're not lost. Like, you're not all over the place. So that's why it's important.
Yeah. And even like before bed, like and stuff like that, I do like daily affirmations. Like I'll fall asleep to like the positive affirmations. Like I literally have this whole self-love one for deep sleeping. So like I really like I need to wake up positively, you know, like I hate waking up not feeling good or like going to sleep with something negative on my mind. So like getting that stuff done, like, before you go to bed, and just having, like, oh, I need to do this, this, and this, and then I'm going to take a shower, and then I'm going to relax, and then I can fall asleep. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. I'm like, get my stuff done now so then I can relax, and I can actually fall asleep. Because then that's the thing. I'll be up all night thinking about what I need to do, but then I'll wake up and try to do it and need to fall asleep. Like, it'll just... So I feel like the routine just helps you balance, like, what you need, you know? Like, even in the mornings, like, sometimes you need to eat something, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you need to listen to music. Sometimes you need to just chill for a minute. So
yeah, the daily affirmation thing is definitely a real thing. I know at night I used to fall asleep to like scripture, meditation and stuff, and I used to sleep like a baby.
Literally,
So it definitely has an effect on the way you sleep, and I would recommend that to anybody, honestly.
Yeah, it's kind of like how unorganized I am. I definitely feel that it's really important to have a routine, especially like just taking care of yourself. Like, that's literally self-care. That's self-love, to be honest. And I wonder, like, when we host events and stuff, I kind of wonder, like, how much time everyone took to get here, you know, like how people be getting ready in the mornings.
How their mornings went,
how DCIS showed up at the 5280 thing, they popped out.
Literally.
I can't lie.
They always do. They always do. DCIS Baker be on that.
Yeah, like what was the conversation behind it? Like, we all gonna match and we're gonna wear red.
I love that. That's how we be though. We literally.
Exactly.
We always be trying to match.
Exactly.
I love that. But I also think that like there's a lot of ambition that comes within it. But also are there times where we're like too hard on ourselves? You know what I mean? We're expecting like, oh, like that's the thing. Like when I'm trying to be organized, you know, like sometimes maybe I'm too organized, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm just like, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this.
Yeah.
But why don't I just chill for a minute, you know, and just let life, you know what I mean?
Right. How would you guys say, like, you set personal goals that motivate you without overwhelming yourselves?
I think being reasonable is a lot. Sometimes, like, I could set a goal that's way out of my reach.
Yes.
Or maybe not out of my reach, but out of my time frame. Maybe not out of my reach, but as of where I am circumstantially right now, maybe it's just not aligning, you know? So kind of having that mindset of, okay, if this is what I want to achieve, maybe I just got to do this little thing first instead of skipping 1,000 more steps to get to here.
Right.
Kind of just being a part of that process. That's what I think. Like, thinking of my goal as more of a process than an achievement.
Right. You know yourself better than anyone, so only you can say, like, what's best for you, you know?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I say it's like one step at a time. Like, even if you set like a goal that might seem like pretty big, you got to take your small wins. Like, even if it's something like waking up and doing what you needed to.
Yeah, waking up. Yeah, no, but that's big though.
I'm telling you,
that's big though.
It's big.
That's big though.
And especially days where everything feels draining. You know what I mean? You have those days where you literally don't want to do anything and you just want to sit there. So it's good to like kind of just take a second, because also people can burn out, especially as high schoolers. Like we try to put so much on our plate because we feel unstoppable, but then when everything comes piling up, especially at this end of the school year, it definitely feels like everything is like crashing down on you at once. So it's like you really have to like stay positive and like how do you guys like control that active positivity in your life?
I would say that like there's a difference. I know there's a difference between being ambitious and like being too hard on yourself. So I just definitely try to keep track of what I know is what I'm gonna look back to in the long run, what I'm gonna see as this actually helped me get to where I am now. This did good for me. As far as like the things I know I'm not gonna remember, I'm not gonna go back to. Like when I get into little disagreements with somebody that I'm close to or something, I know that's not gonna help me. That's not going to get me where I need to be as far as communication and getting the work done. Like, little petty things like that. Like, it's all about staying focused and knowing what the goal is overall and just being ready to make a good outcome of things.
For me, really big things for me is really just like music. Like, you guys see me with my headphones on 24/7. Like, music is a really big thing for me. Like praying, keeping in touch with God.
Yes, I love music.
I be just going through life, listening to music, just.
Yeah, I'm in that same boat. Sometimes I listen to it, and if it gets overstimulated, I might just actually play it myself.
Honestly, yeah.
So that's big for me. But also, to answer your question, I think like scaling everything out, kind of when I get too ambitious, I'm kind of one mind focused, you know, kind of self-centered, kind of one road, narrow path, kind of looking in. So if I may be too ambitious in this area, it might cause me to pull down from another area. And so that's one thing, like I'm trying to like, if I'm ambitious in this, okay, like how does it affect everything else that's going around me? So That's how I think of it.
Yeah, and I like what you said, and I like some things you can't put your energy into, you know, because maybe it's not worth it. So really knowing like what is worth your time, what is worth your effort, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Definitely.
all this negativity can really like control you. Like that's what I'd be heavy on.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you have negative people around you or just some kind of negative spirit, your body will let you know.
Yeah, your body will tell you
Literally,
everything.
you'll have
Everything.
stomach aches, you'll have headaches. Like your brain, your whole body will tell you if something's weird
Right.
in your life. Like that's literally like God throwing hints at you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, like I low key, like sometimes when things go wrong, like I'll have days where everything is going wrong. Let's say I hit my shoulder on my door frame or something like that. Or let's say I trip on something on the floor.
Right.
Or let's say I drop
Right.
like my hairbrush or something. If everything's going wrong, then I take a moment. I'm like, whoa, like that's weird, you know? Because not everything should just keep going wrong. And you don't want to think like, oh, it's anything else, but just taking a second.
Yeah.
Like just breathe for a minute.
Like
Right.
slow down. you know?
Exactly. You know, sometimes we just need to like come back to reality.
Yeah,
Right.
like not gonna lie, that's why I appreciate my mom a lot, because like this weekend, for example, I had so much stuff going on. Like I didn't go to work this whole weekend, but I was definitely still working. Like I had 2 events to go to, and even my mom, she texted me like, you know, you need to get home, you need to relax. You've been moving all day. Like
Yeah.
you'll get all that stuff done eventually, but you need to stop overwhelming yourself and just relax. And it also is important to have that support around you, people telling you to slow down, because sometimes you don't always put yourself first like that.
Yeah.
You don't always think about like your health and how you need to also give yourself that time to like really, you know, reflect on everything you've already done and your accomplishments.
It's nice to have people also around you who like care about you, because sometimes other people see when you're moving too fast, because
Right.
your brain is just moving so fast that you can't understand it. So when there's people who can just tell you like, take a minute, you know?
Yeah.
Like
I really appreciate
Right.
those
Like,
people.
even my dad, like he kind of be doing the same thing. Like sometimes he'll text me in the morning. He's like, have a good day, beautiful, you know, like just don't be in your head, you know, just get stuff done. So it's definitely nice when we still like have our parents to really like support us and be
Right.
that like good system, you know. You can come home and just, you know, talk
Relax.
for a
Like,
minute, you
it's-
know what I'm saying?
It's
That's
always
why-
nice to come back to home.
Right, exactly. And that's why I was like appreciating our audience a lot, because everyone there was like, they were passionate. They brought their presentations.
Yes.
They came there to do their thing, right? Like that's why I really appreciated them.
Right.
And how do y'all feel? Like, is it like, does it feel nice to be in front of a positive audience? Do y'all feel?
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely feels nice because they're reaping all that energy and they're
Right,
giving all that
exactly.
energy to you and you're absorbing it.
Yep.
Like I said, like you give, like the energy you give off is what you attract as well. Like if you're giving off negative energy, other people are just gonna view you as like
Right.
being bitter or being someone who's not pleasant to be around. And
Yeah.
when you're in a room full of all those positive people with the mindsets of making change and actually doing something positive for their community, it also just, it makes the overall energy in the room like authentic, and you're all there for each other. It's nothing weird or anything.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah, I like that we were like bouncing just on and off of the audience. Like
Right.
we
Yeah.
received energy and we gave energy. It was a whole thing.
And that's what I love, like different events like that. Like, because sometimes at our school, you see how the energy is like almost dead, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
great. Like
and
you say,
exactly,
great.
like everything feels so
just
slow.
what?
Right.
And like,
Yeah.
what's it called? Twilight? Like, it feels like a Twilight movie. Like, just the vibe of it. You know what I'm
Don't
saying?
start talking about movies.
Josh, I know you don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm just, the mood is very like groggy, like a foggy day.
Yeah,
You know what
exactly.
I mean? But like
Right.
when we go to places like that, literally I could say a whole sentence wrong and they'd laugh and say, "You're good. Go, keep going." You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
But in front of the school, they'd start laughing at you, or
Exactly.
they, you know,
Like-
y'all are lame. Like it's just the people
Right.
who don't want to be fun or just do something different. I feel like a lot of people in high school are so focused on like fitting in and being like everybody else. Oh, I don't want to do that because it's
Right.
lame, or I don't want to do that, it's corny or whatever. Like, who cares? Like, be yourself.
Right.
Exactly.
That's what I'd be irritated about. Like, it would be like a lot of people just don't want to be themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody wants to be a copy and paste to fit in or
Right.
to have friends. Like,
I just really can't stand the follow the leader like type
Yes,
vibe from
exactly.
people, because
Yeah.
it's like you be yourself. It's like you can't let others determine how you're gonna act or be. Just because somebody's not doing something doesn't mean you don't not do something. Just because
Exactly,
someone's choosing to be funny towards someone, you don't be funny towards that person, especially if you don't know them. It's just, it's good to always know how to formulate your own ideas and
Exactly.
just guide your own, know your own moves. You want to always be yourself and know yourself.
yeah.
So with that being said, what advice would you offer students who are afraid to step out?
I would just say, like, don't be afraid to lose people and don't be afraid to set boundaries, because if those people really respect you and they really love you, they'll accept that, and they'll accept that you're bettering things for yourself, and you're actually growing to be able to understand your worth and know what you don't need around you.
Yeah. And I like those friends who understand when you need a second. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I can't be the friend you can talk to every second of every day, you know? But I'm like, when you really need me, I can be there. But I have so many moments where I just want to be in my own space, you know, and be by myself, you know? So I really value the people who could just respect that everybody has their own lives and their own stories that they're going through too, you know what I mean?
Yeah, me too. That's kind of like what my whole circle is about, because my circle knows who I am. Like, I'm someone who's really quiet. I'm someone who just, you know, likes to take that step back, listen to my own music, be in my own space. So I would just say don't be afraid to just step back, like take your own time, have individualism.
Having people around you that embrace your authenticity.
Exactly.
Yeah. And also engaging in opportunities. Like, I didn't realize the person that I would have been unless, like, I was a part of the podcast, unless I joined volleyball, unless all these things that I do. I feel like these opportunities that you engage yourself in teach you what you like about yourself, or maybe what you don't. Like, maybe you don't like if you're too, like, maybe you talk about yourself too much, or maybe just something like that, you know? But, like, different things will really teach you, like, who you want to be and who you like yourself as a person. You know?
That was big, because you guys mentioned how, like, isolation is important to get to know yourself, but also it's that flip side of actually going out and trying to do stuff, going out and trying to get that experience. That stuff is all important to
trying
having
new
a
things
positive
is
mindset.
My fault. Trying new things is really important.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I was going to say, I understand, like, some people can get scared of losing people, like, they really love. Like, somebody they've been around for a long time, but you just got to understand when that person's not, like, providing you with the right actions or support you need to be the best version of yourself. You got to distance yourself. And it doesn't always mean you have to, like, completely cut that person off, but you just got to know when the right time is to just surround yourself, have better surroundings.
Yeah, definitely. Positive energy and surrounding yourself around what you want. Exactly. I definitely think that's the biggest thing.
I think that was a really good conversation.
Yeah, thank you guys. We hope you enjoyed our conversation, and thanks for joining us on Black Voices in Color.
And if you enjoy our show, please let us know how you're feeling about our topic so far and what we'll be discussing as a whole. Leave your comments or feedback on our Instagram page, and be sure to come back for our next episode. Of course, until our next remarkable comeback,
awaken the soul, empower the mind.
Bye, guys.